And welcome back to the Engage A podcast. Here to talk about the biggest concern team, probably college football right now, with the new offensive coordinator Tommy Rees. Who's going to be playing quarterback this upcoming season? We have no idea. But we're going to be talking about what my thoughts are going into Alabama football next season. After just reviewing their spring game once again, taking a look at the roster, taking a look at their recruiting classes, transfers they've gotten in, all that fun stuff, their schedule. It's going to be, I don't know, man. After having a down year for Nick Saban last year, not making the college football playoff, losing 2 games to Tennessee and LSU, that are 2 pretty crucial games that you really don't want to lose. They didn't even have to face Georgia last year at any point in the season. So, with that being said, we're going to go through the roster first. Point out the notable names from the spring game and guys that played last year that are going to probably play again next year. And then we'll go through their schedule, what I think, look at who's returning in terms of production because they lost 2 very important guys out of the backfield. It's going to be definitely they're going to have something to prove this season, that's for sure. I know Alabama's got a crazy legacy of winning championships, making college football playoffs, being in big-time games, having very successful seasons, but they once again, Nick Saban's not going to be around forever. He's not immortal. They're going to have to find the next guy. It's like when Coach K left Duke. I know that's a basketball analogy, but still. They're going to have to find someone to replace his legacy. And I mean, Duke was pretty solid last year too. But with that being said, let's get into it. So, the guy that wears number 1, Kool-Aid McKinstry, he's probably going to be their leading returner again this year. Pretty phenomenal corner. He's going to be a first-round corner to me. I just think that's how good he is. He's very good in coverage. Got beat once or twice, but it's going to happen as a DB. Not every DB is perfect. Not every DB is Sauce Gardner. So, but Kool-Aid McKinstry was really productive last year with number 2 guy. God, who was the corner that got picked in this draft? Oh, no, I don't think Alabama lost any DBs this year to the draft other than Brian Branch, but still. Kool-Aid, he's going to be a stud. That's for sure. Caleb Downs, he was playing a lot this spring games. He definitely had his impact, was also playing in the special teams units as well in the spring game as well. Pretty solid player. He was very good at his high school in Georgia, Mill Creek. I believe they got their first state championship with them. He's going to be a stud. He's going to be awesome. He's going to be a 3-year guy. He's going to play all 3 years too. He's going to be, I don't know if they're going to play him at safety or play him in the slot. I don't think he's going to play on the outside. I think they got other guys for that, but he'll either play in the slot. He'll find somewhere to play. That's all that you need to know. Jace McClellan, returning back for this team, was the 2 back behind Jahmyr Gibbs last year. I don't know if he's going to be the number 1 back. I think they have 4 running backs that could really play. So I think they're going to throw everyone in there. Then he's definitely the best downhill runner. If he has an open lane, he's definitely going to hit that and go strong. He's pretty decent at breaking tackles. His change of direction's not the greatest, but on plays like buck sweeps, inside zones where he could just, if he can hit a gear and just run straight down the field, it's over. Terrion Arnold, I know he had an interception. He was making a couple pass breakups too. Pretty good in coverage. Gets a little over physical at times. The refs really weren't throwing the flags too much in that spring game. He's someone that's physical, very talented, pretty good instincts, I'd say. He's gonna play next year. That's for sure. Jermaine Burton, he was a guy on this team last year. Wasn't really too productive, if I'm my memory. I think he was the 2nd or 3rd leading receiver, but this also was a not very good passing offense last year, despite having the number 1 overall quarterback. And luckily, I don't know, Jermaine Burton, he has his highs. He caught a couple deep balls, but he also dropped 3 different passes off my memory. I remember Ty Simpson. They were running this play-action play. Ty Simpson rolls out right. Jermaine Burton's on a deep crossing route, and Jermaine just drops it, pretty much open with, the closest defender being within, 5 feet of him. So, solid receiver. We'll see what he does. Jalen Milroe, okay. You know what? I'll break down the quarterback situation once we get to it. Rydell Williams, he was getting a lot of reps with the ones out of the backfield. Pretty explosive back for his size, 5'10", 214. I liked him. He probably won't just be a running back. He'll probably play that split spot a lot, too. They might put him out at like a wing in like a double tight end set, or they want to wing off with the running back. He's going to be a guy. He doesn't really have a set position. He's going to be somewhere in the backfield, though. That's for sure. Number 7, Ja'Cory Brooks, returning receiver. I actually really like Ja'Cory Brooks. He had a nice deep ball catch on Kool-Aid McKinstry. He's probably going to be the leading receiver for this team, if I'm going to be honest. That's all really to it. Devonta Smith, I did not see much out of in this spring game. Eli Holston, incoming freshman, 6'4", 237. Didn't look too bad, to be honest. The number 12, he's down here. Longerton, too. I mean, these two, they didn't do too much, but they seem to have a high awareness. That's about all I could give you. But, yeah. That's pretty much it. They didn't look too good. They didn't look too bad. They didn't do anything crazy. Malik Benson got in there a little bit. Christian Story, he's a really solid DB. Ended up getting an interception. He's pretty big. 6'1", 211. I mean, he's got pretty decent size to him. He's going to be able to tackle. He's going to be able to play in running lanes. See how that goes. Antonio Kite, didn't really see too much of him. Dylan Longerton, he's going to be a guy that's going to be a grad assistant. That's for sure. Didn't see much Cole Adams. Malachi Moore, this kid's a force. This kid's going to be a temporary Will Anderson replacement. He's a senior, so he's probably leaving at there this year and going to the draft, to be honest. He's 6', 198, but he was winning one-on-one reps against the number 2 left tackles. Or no, the number 1 left tackle on Alabama. Who is that guy? I don't really pay attention to offensive linemen. I kind of pay attention to defensive linemen. That's not really my strong suit. So, but Malachi Moore is a force. Great in coverage, great off the edge, great in the run. He's probably going to be the leading statistical leader in this defense in terms of like tackles and making plays, TFLs. I totally see that. He's a very hybrid player. He could play safety, he could play defensive end. Maybe outside linebacker. I don't know about defensive end, but still, he's going to be a very good edge presence. He's still going to be a nice guy to have in midfield zone coverage as well. His man coverage, I didn't really see that too much out of the game, but hey, man, we'll see. Ty Jones-Bell, he got in there. He played a little bit. Didn't really do too much with the rock. Ty Simpson, like I said, I'll break down that quarterback battle later. Dallas Turner, he's a big guy in the middle. He's obviously going to be on that field, man. There's nothing to it. Jared Hamilton, another freshman, he played. He didn't really have too much of an outstanding performance, but he got balls thrown his way. He didn't really do too much with it, but still. Isaiah Bond, he's going to be his guy. He's probably going to be it's going to be between him and Caleb Downs, but those two are going to be deep in the return game for him. Isaiah Bond he had some nice routes. He was getting open. His hands probably something going to be work on, but he's also a young receiver. Tresmond Marshall, he was decent in coverage. That's all about I could say. Kendrick Law. This kid might be the number 1 receiver this season, to be honest. Him and Ja'Cory Brooks are my favorite receivers on this team. Kendrick Law had 2 very nice, spectacular catches, and he's pretty consistent, man. I think he's going to be a nice guy out of the slot. He's pretty big for a slot, 5'11", 201. Typically, you don't see the receivers get over the 200 mark unless they're over 6 foot. I mean, he's 1 inch shorter, so still. But he's going to be a guy to pay attention to this upcoming season. Same with Earl Little, redshirt freshman. He had a pick in the game, picked off Jalen Milroe. I mean, so did like 3 other guys, but still. I like Earl Little. He's a very solid guy in coverage. Justice Haynes, the freshman running back. He's pretty good. I see him as a good third down, third and short back. Get inside the 10. He's a very solid running back. Receive it out of the backfield too, which is very nice to have. Emmanuel Henderson Jr. I think he's pretty good, man. He had this nice, they ran this smash fade concept. So the outside receiver obviously does a hitch, and then the slot receiver goes outside to the corner of the end zone, but not on like a traditional corner route. He goes on like a fade route. So, and Emmanuel Henderson, he's really solid, man. Yeah, I really liked what I saw out of him. Jam Miller's another running back that I could see playing a little bit. Jonathan Bennett, he got a couple touches. I don't think he's going to be someone too much that really plays all that much. Tony Mitchell, he's all right. Justin Jefferson, middle linebacker, he got in there. I think he was with the twos. Des Ricks was a pretty solid guy in coverage as well, just a freshman. He'll definitely be a guy that he might play more later in the season. I don't think they're going to throw him out there week 1. Maybe if they're up like 42-0 on Middle Tennessee, but still. Quandarius Robinson, he's a pretty solid guy off the edge. He's going to be one of those guys. He's going to probably get like at least above 6 sacks. He's a very nice edge presence, 6'5", 231, has very good length, too, in terms of his arms. Jeremiah Alexander, he might play a little bit this year. Kedrick Blackshear got out there a little bit. He was making some plays. Sean Murphy, he's going to be a guy that also goes out there and plays well. That's for sure. Really nothing too much. I also, like I said, I'm not very good on the interior of the line or anything, so the only offensive lineman that I could really recall on this team is Caden Proctor, and that's just because he was the number 1 tackle in the country. That's the only reason why I could tell you what his name is. Yeah. These are some big boys, though. Yeah, Caden Proctor, he played with the twos a lot. He was Ty Simpson's quarterback. But, I mean, he really didn't allow that much off the edge. I mean, he's also going against the number 2 defense. If he goes up against the Malachi Moore or the Quandarius Robinson kid, probably a little different. But still, I mean, he's a very solid tackle. Kobe, I know it's CJ Drippy, and then 88. Miles Kitzman. And Ty Lockwood got out there, too. They're probably going to be solid tight ends. I don't expect them too much. Jalen Hale, he might be a guy that plays a little bit here and there. And then that's pretty much it from everyone. And obviously Tommy Rees, he's like 30 years old. And again, Kevin Steele, I guess he's old as crap. But Nick Saban would be calling probably the defense most of the time anyways. All right. Let's get into Alabama's schedule. For the first Saturday that they play on September 2nd, they play Middle Tennessee State. Going to be a win. I don't think there's much to it. Like, if they were to get upset, it'd be like the Appalachian State for Michigan thing. It just doesn't happen very often. Texas in week 2. Games on ESPN in primetime. At Tuscaloosa. They should, I think the Texas offense is very awesome with Xavier Worthy and Lorenzo Cain and Jatavion Sanders. Who are they going to have? I mean, Cedric Baxter is who I expect for their running back to be week 1, but we'll see. They lose 2 very important backs, both Robinsons, Bijan, and I forget the other kid's name. And then you have Quinn Ewers. Quinn Ewers, I mean, he played very well against Alabama last year before getting hurt. I mean, you had Hudson Card come into the game, which Hudson Card, I mean, I talked about yesterday. He's probably going to be a stud at Purdue. But, yeah, that game is going to be very impactful early in the season. Probably won't matter by week 12 or week 13. I expect both teams to be in the top 25 by the end of that time. So, we'll see. Game at South Florida. South Florida gets a new head coach. Probably not going to be very good. They haven't been very good in the past 5 years. Don't expect much else different. Ole Miss is going to be an interesting team. Wonder who their quarterback is going to be. Obviously, we got some film to watch on them. That might be the team that I thought about doing this team next or doing Notre Dame next. So, we'll see. You'll see tomorrow. At Mississippi State, new head coach, RIP Mike Leach. Don't really know too much about what's going on with that Mississippi State program. That's something we're going to definitely get to by like July. To be honest. Texas A&M, I don't know. The Texas A&M, they lost a lot of guys. They're bringing a lot of guys in. See what Jimbo does. That's for sure. Arkansas was probably going to be, I don't know. Alabama seems to struggle against Arkansas. So, we'll see. Arkansas had the worst DB room last year, and they got it. A lot of those guys were just young, and they got the playing experience. I think they're going to be pretty good next season. They have KJ Jefferson returning. That's huge. He's a pretty huge guy. Tennessee is going to be a very I expect to be a very impactful game. Whether probably Joe Milton's going to be the quarterback. Very strong arm. I mean, he played at Michigan his freshman year. Had a cannon. He just wasn't very accurate with it. I remember people were praising him after that Minnesota game, that when the first Big Ten game that happened that season. But he looks pretty good in the Orange Bowl when they played Clemson. Let's see what happens. He's a pretty solid quarterback. They also get that Nico Imova kid. Or they're going to throw out receiver. They got Dante Thornton. They got Squirrel White. They got guys. It's Tennessee, man. Come on. LSU, I could see being another loss. I think LSU is going to be a better team next year than what they were this year. So, there's that for you. At Kentucky, I don't know. Kentucky, Leary, I have high praise for. I think they got great wide receivers. I think they have a decent running back room. Their offensive line's trash. At least it was last season. I don't know what improvements they've made in that category. Defense, they've always been a solid defensive team. They put guys in the league. We'll see. Chattanooga, I don't think we need to talk about that. And then Auburn's going to be a rollover, to be honest. Especially if they have that Peyton Thorne kid at quarterback. And then let's just take a look at the recruiting class. So Caleb Downs obviously got in there. Kid's a freak. Caden Proctor, kid's a freak. A lot of these kids that go to Alabama are freaks. Justin Haynes, I actually really liked a lot, too. Des Ricks, pretty solid kid. He's gonna play probably a little bit this year, but definitely by next season, he's gonna be a stud. That's for sure. Jalen Hale got out there a little bit. Eli Holston, he played a little bit too. Tony Mitchell got in there. Malik Benson did. Jaron Hamilton played a lot more than I expected. So did Ty Lockwood. Justin Jefferson, JUCO transfer. And then, yeah. Ty Buckner, man. All right. Before we end off, this episode, we got quarterback situation. Ty Buckner, who just transferred in, did not play in the spring game, but he's definitely going to get his reins taken by Sam Hartman at Notre Dame. That's why he transferred. He's going to go be with his offensive coordinator. You have Jalen Milroe, the only quarterback to play in an actual game for Alabama. And he got Ty Simpson. Now, both Jalen Milroe and Ty Buckner are both redshirt sophomores. Ty Simpson being the redshirt freshman. Three things. I'll start off with Ty Buckner. He played in the first couple games for the Fighting Irish last season. He got hurt. Really didn't get to showcase too much throughout what he would do through a whole season. Didn't really get to see his progressions throughout the season, what he got better at as a young quarterback. I don't think they blew games against Stanford. He obviously didn't play too well against Marshall before he got hurt, but still, Drew Pine could have done something in that game. It's not like that game was completely out of reach. The kid's solid, but I don't know if he's still going to be the starting quarterback for this team. I don't know if he should be. I think that he's probably going to go out in the first week or two. Probably get some playing time. We'll see what happens. Jalen Milroe, I think he has the highest upside, personally. I think he's got a really good arm. I think he's got a really good arm strength. I don't think he's completely accurate. I think his mechanics, when you look at him when he throws, he just doesn't look like a quarterback. He's probably the best runner on this Alabama team, if I'm going to be honest. But, yeah. He can make the deep throw. He can toss it around a little bit. He's pretty good on his feet, honestly. But I think his pocket awareness is really bad, and that's something that he's going to have to progress. Because if not, he's going to take a ton of sacks. And he's going to get beat up. And you don't want that for your quarterback. And then I think Ty Simpson, he honestly has the highest floor out of any of these quarterbacks. He's very smart. He knows when to make plays on his feet. He's got really good pocket awareness. Pretty accurate. His arm strength, it's good enough for a quarterback. I don't know if... It reminds me of Mac Jones a lot. He's a more mobile Mac Jones. Mac Jones, He's like Mac Jones if Mac Jones slimmed down 20 pounds and like actually was athletic. That's the best way to put it. He's a solid quarterback, man. My thing is that Alabama, they got the pieces out of the backfield with their running backs. Do they have the receivers? I don't think they're there yet. I think by the time Ty Simpson's maybe a sophomore or junior and either Monroe transfers or decides to go to the NFL, and Buckner's obviously gone too, and I don't think Holstein or the other quarterback's going to take the reins. So, but yeah, I think that's probably where he's going to be the best. If Ty Simpson has a bunch of athletes around him, he's going to be very productive, very solid. He's not going to be that Bryce Young type player. He's not going to be the quarterback that takes over a game simply because he's that good. I think Ty Simpson's a good quarterback. I think he's going to probably get drafted. He's probably going to be a day 2 guy. That's my evaluation of him. But I don't know. I don't know who you throw out there, to be honest. No one's really made a good case, to be honest. Like, they all have flashes. But I think with Nick Saban, it's going to be consistency, keeping the ball away from the defense, which Monroe really did not do a good job of. I will say that. It's just going to come down to who's the most aware, smart, and productive quarterback. I think those are 3 things that Nick Saban looks for, and he wants to get out. And if he doesn't do that, they might be looking at someone else to bring in. That's for sure. Maybe Holstein's the guy that plays next year in the 2024 season. But thank you for watching. As always, peace out.